Welcome back to Cut the Sith Comic Book Reviews with your host, Colin McSorley. Today we are going over Star Wars, The High Republic number 3, There Is No Fear, Chapter 3, Down Below. Written by Kevin Scott, art by Ariel Anandito. I don't know if I get that right. Apologies if I pronounced it wrong. The main cover is by Phil Noto. The Marchion Road cover is by Mike Mayhew. And the Scare cover is by Kev Walker. The reason I mentioned the covers, which obviously I should be showing out everyone that works on the book. There's just too many names sometimes. But normally when I buy comics, I always go for the main book. Always. And that's what I did for this one. Like I always do. I buy the main cover. I'm on Wikipedia right now, and I'm looking at the variant covers for this issue. And first off, the main issue by Phil Noto is awesome itself. You got Keeve Trennis with the double blades ignited, running through the Drengar forest with the, looks like either Serret or Terex, like silhouette face in the background. And that looks awesome. But you look at these variant covers. You got the one with Marchion Ro holding his blaster, which looks like it has a kyber crystal in it. And if you read Light of the Jedi, if you haven't, spoilers, I'm assuming that kyber crystal in his blaster is from Loden Greatstorm's lightsaber. Because Light of the Jedi ends with Loden Greatstorm as Marchion Ro's prisoner. Then that one, the Marchion Ro cover by Mike Mayhew, looks awesome. Then you got the Kev Walker cover, which is Scare, looking like a badass with his lightsaber ignited. And I'm like, damn. Do I gotta buy all the variant covers of this comic? Because, first off, I love the comic. If you've been listening to the reviews, I love this thing. I love this book. Only on issue 3, the first 2 issues I love issue 3. Spoilers. And look at these covers, I'm like, damn. Do I gotta buy all 3? Because they look pretty awesome. But anyways, getting into the issue. So it starts out, we got Tarek is freaking out, like his mind is breaking, or their mind's breaking. So Tarek's mind is like breaking and falling apart because Serret right now is being, for lack of a better term, possessed, I would say, by the Drengar who captured them last issue. So, and they share a mind, they're psychically linked, and right now Serret's being possessed by the Drengar, which means Tarek is also, and Tarek's mind is like cracking, and they're saying some crazy stuff about how the darkness grows, it must be fed, it must be nourished, they're lashing out, attacking at Scare and Avar Kriss. So yeah, you know something's going on with Serret right now, because Tarek's back on the ship acting like this, so you know wherever Serret is, it's bad news. And Scare, so we keep hearing from Keeve Trennis, and she mentioned it again later on in this issue, that Scare hasn't always been like this, where he's like angry, lashing out, bloodthirsty. We know from other Star Wars works that like Trandoshans are naturally like this, other naturally just bloodthirsty creatures. But apparently Scare has not been like that. But now, ever since, I believe it's the Battle of Curse, the battle in Light of the Jedi where he loses his arm. Ever since then, he's been like having, like, we've seen in the previous issue, he's having like this PTSD, and he goes bloodthirsty, and he beats that Nihil to death and just slaughters him in cold blood. And now he's like lashing out at Tarek. He looks like he can't hold his anger in. His ferocity is about to come out. And Avar Kriss, she was noticing it too, and she wants to have a little chat with him. But every time they go to have that conversation, that shit gets interrupted. But I don't know if he's gonna if he's gonna snap, if he's gonna turn to the dark side. I mean, a Trandoshan becoming like a dark Jedi would be badass, but I do like the idea of like a Trandoshan Jedi, because whenever we see Trandoshans, they're like bounty hunters, they're bloodthirsty, they're like, trying to think of other words besides bloodthirsty. But yeah, they're basically just like fierce creatures. out there just trying to wreak havoc on people for like money or for fun. Whereas Scare is supposed to be this like cool, calm, collected Jedi. And now we're seeing him because of that battle, because he suffered the loss, he lost his arm. And he's been not the same since that battle. But I would like to see him get one with himself, center himself. Like he tells Tarek at one point to like center themselves when they awaken from their comatose state. So I would like to see Scare center himself. Maybe Jedi need a therapist. That honestly, everything that happened with Anakin and his fall to the dark side, fucking therapy. The Jedi need therapists. Therapy would solve 99% of the problems in Star Wars, if we're being honest here. Like, if Anakin saw a therapist, like, once a week, there would be no Darth Vader. Which, I mean, would suck for us, because there would be no Star Wars, but, I mean, it'd be good for him. Him, Padme, growing old with, like, Leia and Luke. Oh, it'd be beautiful for them. I mean, we wouldn't have Star Wars, so I guess there would be a trade-off there. But anyways, Keeve, she's out there with she's out there in that like forest because she's looking for Sarek. And there's we find out there's other missing people, with including Sarek. There's 5 missing people that are missing in this forest. So she goes out there with this kid Bartol, this young boy. He's looking for his friend Julius. So they head out there, and they find the Drengar nest, I guess, in like the forest. And Julius is dead, and he's crying, and it's a nice moment. It's a sad moment because like his best friend's dead, but it's a nice moment because Keeve comforts him. And it's nice because we always hear about like Jedi need to cut off their emotions, that they're like that their emotions make them weak, their emotions lead them to the dark side, and they need to like cut off their emotion. But Keeve shows her emotions. Like, she sits there, she sees this sad, and she comforts him. So it's nice to see when the Jedi can be like human instead of like these mindless, emotionless peacekeepers, when they can actually show some humanity. So she comforts the boy. She comforts young Bartol. But Saret's still alive, so she goes to free him. I'm sorry, she goes to free them. And Saret's freed from the vines of the Drengar, but they're still under the Drengar's possession, as Saret has Bartol hostage, and spouting all this nonsense again. Tarek's out there awoken now, spouting all this nonsense at Scare. Tarek eventually ends up spitting this like black mist in Scare's face. But Avar Kriss shows up, slices the Drengar down the middle, uses the Jedi mind trick to free Saret and Tarek's mind from the Drengar, breaks the hold over them. However, we see, and I assume it's because of the black mist that Tarek shot into Scare's face, the Drengar have possessed Scare, and that's how the issue ends. So, I'd like to see where this goes. I'm hoping Scare doesn't die, because I love the character Scare. I love Trandoshans. I love the idea of a Trandoshan Jedi, which is why I also, 1, I don't want Scare to die. 2, I do not want Scare to fall to the dark side. Sorry, my fucking throat's dry. I think it's way too easy for just a Trandoshan Dark Jedi is just too easy, because we've always seen them as like these, they've always been portrayed as like quote unquote bad guys. So to see one as like a cool, calm, collected Jedi is awesome. So I'm hoping that Scare survives, gets freed from the Drengar, and that Keeve, Trennis, Avar Kriss can help him center himself, get back to who he was before, like the battle with the Nile where he lost his arm, and he can become that cool, calm, collected Jedi he once was. And I'm hoping he doesn't fall to the dark side. But on the other hand, I mean, we do know Cavan Scott wrote Dooku Jedi Lost, And we do know that in Dooku Jedi Lost they mention a Master Trennis as one of the Lost 20, one of the 20 Jedi Masters that peacefully left the Jedi Order. Now, Keeve Trennis ain't a Master yet. She just became a Jedi Knight. But who's to say that her Master doesn't follow the dark side? And she eventually has to kill her Master. And that sets up a catalyst that ends up with her just peacefully walking away from the Jedi. Who knows? Just spitballing some shit here. I'm hoping, though, that Sskeer remains on the side of the Jedi. And I need more Avar Kriss being a badass. Like, she walked in there and just sliced that Drungar up. Because first off, by the way, let's talk about these Drungar. They're plants. Cool. They can, like, psychically control people. Fine. I didn't know they could do that. I talked a lot. If you watched our Light of the Jedi book club, reading club, I talked a lot of shit about the Drungar when we were talking about how we're going to read Into the Dark next. Haven't read it yet, but I assume the Drungar are in there too. I think they are. I think I heard something with that. I talked a lot of shit about how, like, plants don't scare me. Fuck them. And then, yeah, so they're psychically controlling Jedi now, so yeah. That was not part of the agreement when I was talking shit about these plants. But even so, Avar Kriss whooped that thing's ass. I don't know if the Drungar have an ass, but she sliced that motherfucker down. She went Mr. Miyagi on it. When Mr. Miyagi doing his, like, bonsai tree shit, she was like, whoosha. So, I need more Avar Kriss in my life. I need more Avar Kriss being an absolute badass savage. And I cannot wait for issue 4. This is one of the best ongoing comic book series out right now. Not even Star Wars, not even Marvel, just overall in comics, it's one of the best ongoing series out right now. And I look forward to it each and every month. Alright, join us next time for more Covet comic book reviews. High Republic number 4 in a month. Star Wars number... I should have looked this up beforehand, and I'm not going to pause to look it up now. I believe Star Wars 11, or... I think it's Star Wars 11? No. Star Wars 12? Yeah, I think it's Star Wars number 12. Maybe that's out, like, next week. They were both out on the same week. Issue 1 and 2 of the High Republic came out the same week as, like, the previous 2 Star Wars books. I'm thinking those are, like, 10 and 11. Star Wars 12 I don't think came out this week, unless I, like, missed it. So, that's probably next week, I'm gonna assume. And High Republic 4 is in a month. So yeah, join us for more comic book reviews.